In the racist society, just being non-racist is not enough. We must be anti-racist. Prejudice is a burden that compounds the past, threatens the future, and makes the present inaccessible. That's why I am here to change people's mindset about racism. My name is Atika Zatayumni Dewi from class 10 Science 1. Today I'm gonna represent my friends from class to give a little speech about racism. People often associate racism as the act of abuse or harassment. However, it does not need to involve violent or intimidating behavior. Take racial name-calling and jokes, or consider situations where people may be excluded from a certain groups or activities just because of where they come from. Racism can be revealed through people's actions as well as their attitudes. It can be also reflect from their systems and institutions. But sometimes it may be not revealed at all because not all racism is obvious. For example, someone may look through a list of job applicants and decide not to interview people with a certain surnames. Two people apply for the same job. They have the same education, the same work experience, the same dreams, but only one of them get the interview. Why? Because the other one is black or has an Arabic name. Racism is more than just words, beliefs, and actions. It includes all the barriers that prevent people from enjoying dignity and equality because of their race. Racism is in our street, in our workplace, and times even in our institutions. Sometimes it within us, in the way we think even if we don't realize it. Let us take an example from some of the acts of racism happening in other countries. Have you heard the acts of racism against black people in America? Black Lives Matter was a call for an action. Just because of differences in skin color can cause a group divisions and conflicts between communities. The same thing happens in our country. It does not always make the headlines, but it often happens in here. Papuans have long experienced racism in Indonesia, but they are always required to remain silent for the sake of unity and harmony. We unconsciously get used to giving standard to other people in every aspect, where white people get more privilege from the society, where people who are bad in academics are eliminated. He was not very good at math, but he was able to sell his paintings at a fantastic price. He could not memorize in terms of biology lessons, but he was able to go to an international martial arts competitions. Give special privilege to a certain people. This simple treatment includes discriminations and distinguish between individuals' ability to another individuals. It is because of this treatment that some of us decide to remain silent and are forced to follow standards that are indirectly emerging among our society. But for how long? For how long can we sit still, do nothing, and let these bad habits continue? We need to change. We need to fight against racism too, in our own institutions and everywhere around the world. Because only if we are united, we will build back together after COVID-19. What about racism against other religion in Indonesia? By excluding others for having different religions or race. I will not provide specifications against one group to another. However, racism will continue if it does not start with us. Why? Why is it so important to eliminate the acts of racism? Discrimination haunts many people worldwide. It can make their life worse, full of pain and struggle. It not only breaks heart, but also wants to make people giving up on progressing at their work or socially. lost a job, lost a promotion, and such event can destroy morale. They can become the reasons for venting out everyday frustration and aggression. Racism caused people to be excluded from discussion about their own future. Or as happened in 2016 in America, where minorities do not receive proper care about their health. Most Americans believe that African skin is thicker than theirs. So they think Africans are more pain resistant, even though they have the same immunity. Access to health is difficult to obtain. It will be too late if we prevent this racism tomorrow. So let's start from today. But how? How can we change the standard that has been around for years? The answer is very simple, yet often forgotten by dozens of people. Tolerance. As a fellow high school student, I'm sure you have learned about this before, and I will take this with me and remind us all again. Tolerance towards a group that has been discriminated can change many things, not only to a certain group but also to other individuals. Don't forget our unifier in our nations, Bhinneka Tunggal Ika. Aren't you ashamed if our actions are inversely proportional to the motto that we have so far? I know we can do better than this. So let's create a better environment, a more friendly and accepting environment. It is not our differences that divide us, it is our inability to recognize, accept, and celebrate those differences. To bring about change, you must not afraid to take the first step. We fail when we fail to try.